All right. So how long have you been in the business?
Got into it as a hobby back in 1989. Fell in love with it. Got into it professionally back in 1992. Been in it since then and absolutely love it. Love this industry.
What's the difference between a ported and a sealed box?
You want the short answer or the long answer? I'm going to give you the short answer.
The short answer with benefits.
Ported box is usually tuned to a specific frequency which enhances it. Plain English, what does that mean? It's usually a lot louder. Now, depending on the box, whether it's prefab or whether it's custom built, that tune can be very wide or very narrow. What I mean by that is you can tune it to a specific frequency and make that one frequency ridiculously loud. That's great if you want to be loud. Not so good if you like sound quality. Or you can make it very wide, which is still a heck of a lot louder than a sealed box, but it's a lot closer to a response of a sealed box where you're still getting the sound quality, but you're not sacrificing output. That layman's term is as simple as I can put it. That's the difference between them.
Do you build custom boxes?
Absolutely. Love it.
What are your thoughts on the center channel and front stage, for the front stage?
That is a 100% personal preference. When you talk center channel speaker, you're opening up a big world of staging and imaging, and you're creating a sound stage, preferably on the dash of the vehicle. It gets pretty complex. If you're setting this thing up for what I call a one-person tune, in other words, you set it up to sound best for the driver, an actual center channel speaker is not needed. If you're trying to set it up for a two-person tune, it is a heck of a lot easier with the center channel. There are advantages and disadvantages to both ways. But again, you're going to open up a really big technical can of worms with this. 90-some odd percent of people, when they go in this direction, it's usually a one-person tune. Because let's be honest, the guy driving the car, 90% of the time, where's he at? In the driver's seat. How often does he have a passenger with him? It happens, but it's not very often. If you ever come look at any of our vehicles, first thing we're going to do, we're going to make you sit in the driver's seat. Why? Because that's where it sounds the best.
How do you feel about rear fill?
Straight up personal preference. Imagine going to a concert. Band's in front of me. I want to watch the band. I don't want to be doing this and hear them behind me. Going to a live concert, you do have reflections. You do have stuff that you are going to hear behind you. So the amount of rear fill is what is really important, is the real question. Do you like rear fill? Depending on the vehicle, you're going to get natural rear fill, period. Glass is very reflective. You pretty much, you're surrounded by glass 360 degrees, so you're going to get rear fill, period. But again, personal preference. Some people like a lot more. There's nothing wrong with that. What I may love, you may absolutely hate. That's what makes us different. Music is subjective. If you're the type of person that likes to be engulfed in the music, staging, imaging isn't priority number one. Yeah, put some speakers in the rear, put a little bit of rear fill. You want them loud, you want to be right in the middle, cool. Make them just as loud as the fronts. But then again, you're sacrificing one thing for another. You're sacrificing rear fill for a good solid stage. A good solid stage means I can close my eyes and I can point to where that musical instrument is coming from, how it was recorded. I should not be able to get in my car and point to this speaker and, oh, sound's coming from right there. If I can do that, I didn't do my job. That's not staging, that's not imaging, that's just noise.
So do you make custom pillars, pods, kick panels?
We can, absolutely. Getting into custom pillars, custom pods does get a little on the pricey side. I'm not going to lie, it does get expensive. Is it better than most stock location? Absolutely. And then we get into different aspects of, do we want our speakers on axis, off axis? Because speaker placement is pretty vital, and you can compensate for some of that with the DSP, with time alignment. But if it can be fixed with placement versus electronical manipulation, that's always better. The question isn't, oh, is placement better? Yeah, placement is always going to win. And the question is the amount of money it's going to cost me to build something, is that worth it to me? Is that worth it to you? Some people it might be, some it may not. There are a lot of companies out there. I think Custom Speaker Pods is one of them. They make little clip-on where you can add a 3, a tweet to the factory pillar. Is it as cosmetically appealing as custom building something? No, but the price difference is just astronomical. A tenth of the price. So it depends how deep you want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. So do you guys do full custom like SQ install?
Absolutely.
Sound quality is king.
Absolutely.
And do you guys do SPL installs? And I mean, when I say SPL installs, I don't mean someone who wants a lot of bass, but someone who wants to really drop the hammer.
So in this world, there are two wide extremes, and you hit on both of them, SQ and SPL. They are not the same thing. Me, I definitely lean very heavy towards the SQ end of things, whereas my custom guy, Charles, just the opposite. He leans very heavily towards SPL. I want to say he has 13 or 14 world records. He has set many world records in the SPL industry. He has built many SPL vehicles, won many SPL titles. So yes, we can do a combination of both. Or if you want to extreme one or the other, we can do that too. Or if the budget doesn't allow for extreme one or the other, we figure out somewhere in the middle.
I feel like most people fall somewhere
in the middle. Very rarely will you see somebody, if 0 is straight middle, and then 1, 1, 2, 2. Yeah. Very rarely will you ever see a 10 on either side.
Right.
Very rarely.
And lastly, how can someone contact you if they want to get something done? Here, I know you guys are located here in Springfield, Missouri. So assuming that someone's willing to drive to here, or willing to, someone's fairly close, how would they contact you to find out?
Phone obviously is the easiest, 417-872-6183, or email, carmealcaraudio.
Gmail.com?
Gmail.com. If you can spell my name, or if you can Google Carmil, Carmil.
All right, and the links will be in the description too.
It'll be on there.
All right, well, I appreciate you for your time, brother. I know you have a busy schedule, and customers they just need to be custom. So thanks, boss.
Yep.